Hi, my name is Andrew and I would like to invite you for the UAEactiveSPEARO channel. It's a new channel featuring people from United Arab Emirates loving spearfishing. Check interviews and check surveys and know more about the spearfishing safety, because I believe that's the most important thing. Go ahead and have a look at the latest and the first one also interview with Francesco Zago. Then I believe I have actually something else to offer you as well, because I'm already preparing the second and third interview. So it's gonna be a project. So take care guys and enjoy Francesco. So have you heard about the UAEspearo survey? It's a short 5-minute survey for the UAE-based spearos. That's something good for the community to know our behaviors and basically to talk about the safety. The reports and results will be presented very soon with my co-host Tamer. So stay tuned and wait for it. You have time till 20th of February to attend it. Go ahead, do it, enjoy. So tell us something more about you, like for how long have you been spearfishing? This is one, and then you're from Italy. Then we'll go back to actually Italy topic later on. But tell us, how do you find yourself here in Dubai, spearing in Dubai? How is it?
Well, I'm 19 now. I'm turning 19 in the 24th of June, and well, spearfishing was a family thing per se. My dad used to be a freediver and a spearer when he was young. He started when he was 18, even younger, and he did freediving courses, PADI courses. And also he did an important PADI course for scuba diving, which was to get relics back. So how to get things out of like sunken ships, how to get, you know, old things out of the water. And it was really interesting, and that's what pretty much bought him a lot instructors per se. And his name is Isidoro. So them two together, ever since I was young, I was pretty much always in the boat with my dad, my mom and my dad. He was spearfishing, and pretty much ever since I was born, I was always brought up to that spearfishing, sea, water, salt water, and swimming, and all those things. So also, you know, my mom and my dad were swimming instructors, so that also helped a lot. Keep in mind, I pretty much knew how to swim before I could walk, because, well, I could walk all right, but I was a late bloomer. Let's just keep it at that. So yeah, spearfishing. I started spearfishing at the age of 11. That's when I got my first pole spear. In Italy, you have to be 16 to get a spear gun, so don't listen to me, kids. You have to be 16 to get a spear gun. But yeah, no, at the age of 13, I got my pole spear without telling my parents, which was yeah, it was a fun month. But yeah, no, I got my first pole spear, and at the age of 13, Isidoro, my dad's friend, gifted me my first spear gun, which was an Omer HF2 100, size 100, single-banded, to remember. And when I got that gun, I was in heaven. It was my first gun, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. So then we moved to Dubai, and I never knew if you could spearfish here. I saw, you know, the fish, the variety and the flora and fauna that was in the water, but I never actually knew that you could spearfish here. I always was going fishing. Then I met Federico, one of my really great buddies, which also helped me a lot through life. Federico Roy, if you're watching this video, thank you. And and yeah, no, thanks to him, I learned that you can spearfish here. And ever since, well, the first year of Dubai, I did not spearfish, but after, I pretty much was spearfishing every weekend, even twice a week. And I was just grinding, and I fell in love with it even more. Then I did an IDA course for freediving, IDA level 2, and with my instructor Yuri, and I took that. And after that, I mainly took that for safety, because, you know, one thing that you always got to keep in mind with sports like these, extreme sports, freediving, spearfishing, other sports that, you know, you can put your life in danger, safety is #1 priority. You forget about the fish, forget about diving deeper, forget about everything else. You just always got to keep in mind that you have to be safe 100%. So personally, I always decide to dive with buddies. I never dive alone. And if I do dive alone, it's in very shallow water and in waters that I know, like in Italy, but that's still dangerous and can be very dangerous. So I always prefer to dive with a buddy. So here, especially where we're diving, you know, past 25 meters, even 30 meters sometimes, we want to always be with even 3-4 people in the water. And a buddy system is a crucial system, and you always got to trust a buddy, because I know that if I go with a buddy that I've known for years, I'm more safe in the water, because I'm more calm down there, because I know that if something happens, I have him that he can help me if something happens. So yeah, that's how I think about spearfishing.
I had the impression that you're a Daredevil, but actually now you can see, guys, that this guy is really thinking about safety. And yes, he's a master in the dive and the deep. Probably he's getting better and better. But yeah, that's what I actually wanted to hear, you know, that he's really looking forward actually to spear with buddy. And you have to know the person and trust. And this is super cool. Like, this is the main thing. And actually during interviews, we'll try actually to facilitate this, that yes, spearfishing and safety, that actually has to go along.
Too many questions, huh?
You got
In general, like probably the most fun thing about spearfishing is, well, equipment-wise, it's probably the variety of fins, honestly, to be honest. Fins are, ooh, I love them. I'm in love with fins. I'm a master in fins. I love having, like right now I've got 6 pairs of fins. I think it's a bit of an addiction, but it's okay. I mean, we all love our addictions. But yeah, no, I love fins. I love fins from fiber to carbon fiber to plexi to even plastic. Sometimes I even try to like mix and match fins. So for Chetma, also Pathos, right now I'm using my Pathos Abyss fins, and I love them. They're amazing. They're probably one of the best fins I've had. But yeah, no, that's...
Oh, he or she is listening to you.
Yeah, she was really close to the ear. But yeah, no, fins and guns. Like, what I love most about spearfishing is fins and guns, because there's so many varieties about them. You can get, you know, fins for deeper fins, softer fins, harder fins, medium fins, even the length, the brand. Also for the guns, length, you know, material, type of gun, style of gun, like bands. It's. I love them. I love them. And like, you know, I'm actually working on a little project for building my own gun, wooden gun mixed with carbon. It's gonna be an inverted roller. I'll see how it is. I mean, you know, I think I have enough expertise to actually try building a gun. I don't know how it's going to work out, but we'll see. I mean, like, I hope it's going to shoot fish.
So yeah, again, a lot of information. That's good. Just have a question about what did you say about spearing and starting spearing when you are young, below like 18 years old?
Yeah, I mean, safety in general, it doesn't really, you know, it doesn't really affect age-wise. You know, you can be 40 and still be unsafe. You can be 19 and be very safe. You know, it's really not correlated to the age group. It really changes on the person. I've met divers which are, you know, like my team, for example, is from the age group. My friend Emanuele is the youngest. He's 18. So we go from 18 to 24. So keep in mind, Emanuele is probably not the beginner. He's very good. From what I've seen, he's actually really good. He's starting. He's just starting out. So from what I've seen, he's a very safe diver. So it doesn't really affect the age. But safety-wise, well, first number one priority is, you know, having a buddy system. That's probably the thing that can save you out of many situations. Number one is buddy system. Number two is, I know that many people in UAE don't actually do it, which I don't know why they don't do it, but it's stupid to not do it. And it's to use a signal buoy. Signal buoys are very important. Not just breakaway system, signal buoys with a flag or anything that is bright colored, so you know the boat knows where you are at all times. Other boats know that there's a swimmer in the water, and your buddy knows where you are. Because if something happens down there, per se, and your buddy doesn't see, which shouldn't happen, but if your buddy doesn't see, you know, one thing is that your buddy knows where you are because the buoy is there, or one thing is that your buddy does not know at all where you are. You see, another problem that we have in UAE is the dirty water. You know, it's very rare where you can see from top to bottom. So yeah, no, signal buoy is very important. Buddy system is very important, and third of all is never push your limits. If your limit is, you know that you can hold your breath for 2.5 minutes, don't go diving or try holding it for 30 seconds extra when you're down there. Even 5 seconds extra will cause a lot of damage. If, you know, it's not a blackout, but, you know, you can go into samba, which can lead to a blackout. So it's, you know, never push your limits, buddy and signal buoys, because spearfishing, as I said before, it's a very dangerous sport. Same with freediving. So, you know, the more a person is safe while doing it, you know, the more fun it's going to have. So that's how I think about it.
So how old were you when you actually attended the AIDA? And I'm curious, how did you do it actually on your first days? Because that might be fun. And then your instructor, he is still here, so I think we can say hello. Yeah, hi Yuri. And then, yeah, how did you actually manage to carry on later on by yourself when you finished the course? And how did you do it? Because for you, I believe you're an athlete, and then regardless the age, you know, you have to progress, and people, they progress obviously. So, but being a bit younger than the rest of the guys, then I think that also put a bit of more pressure on you, and that's why you're also so good. Yeah. So, but this is also coming probably from your character. So tell us more about this.
Well, when I started the course, if I'm not wrong, I was 17. So that's when I did my course, and I was the youngest one in that course, which was kind of funny and put a lot of pressure on me, because of course, you know, being the youngest, you know, freediver there, it was a little bit of more pressure put onto me, because I'm like, I wanted to show that, you know, it's not really an age-related thing. So I took it personally as a personal challenge per se. But I did the course for two things: safety and relaxation. Those are the two reasons why I took that course. But before I even took that course, I was already freediving. My first instructor per se was my dad and Isidoro, which they were who mainly and initially taught me how to freedive. So I thank them for that. But no, the course, yeah, I was 17 and I was the youngest one, and then I took the IDA level 2, which had some requirements to do, and yeah, so it taught me a lot about safety and buddy diving, and especially relaxation. Relaxation was something that, you know, I never actually looked that deep into, because of course, being as an amateur freediver before I took the course, it was always more like, you know, yeah, do this breathe up, but it doesn't work for everyone. Like, I've tried breathe ups that, you know, my instructor taught me, which personally don't work for me, and then he told me other breathing techniques which work amazingly for me. Like, for example, the one that I use now for deeper dives is diaphragmatic breathing. It's pretty much, you breathe with your tummy and you relax your diaphragm. Also, that allows you to, you know, gain more air in your lungs, because you gotta keep your lungs as like plastic bags, like two balloons, two big balloons. If you put these two balloons in a square box, you can only fill them up with so much air. But if you put them into open, like without any, you know, restraints, those balloons can go even bigger. So that's also why we do diaphragmatic breathing. But, you know, diaphragmatic breathing is probably one that made me relax a lot. But, you know, usually what I tell people is don't overthink the breathing. Because I mean, like, we know one way of breathing that has kept us alive for however long we've lived on this earth, which is normal breathing. So if that keeps us alive, why not do that one? You know what I mean? So I do normal breathing, and then usually I take 3 big breaths and I dive, and that's pretty much my breathing technique. But yeah, no, being a young diver has pushed me to pretty much smash my limits, because, you know, it's been also, you know, as you said, part of my character and personality is that I always want to, like, you know, smash my goals and go above and beyond them. So pretty much that's what I've done. Even being a young diver, I've tried my best to show what I can do and what I'm made of.
What's your favorite video from your YouTube?
Probably my favorite video from my YouTube or my team's YouTube. It's probably like I'm putting way more effort on my team's YouTube right now, because that's where all the media is going. So my favorite video probably has to be either the one we did in Lampedusa for groupers, which was really, really fun. That was fun. Hunting in caves and hunting in holes is probably my favorite way of hunting in Italy, because that's where you get most fish. You can get even dentex, which is, it's rare, but you could find dentex in holes. But it's mainly groupers, corvinas, breams, and sometimes gilt heads, but gilt heads usually come out of slits. So if there's 2 rocks, there's a cut in the middle, that's where they come out of.
Wow, you know, I don't know, I never experienced actually to spearfish in the cave. How is it?
Spearfishing caves depends how big the cave is, honestly. If it's a small hole, you usually use smaller guns. You usually tend to use, not with the single spear, you tend to use 3 spears. So that one. And it's usually for groupers, and it's really a mix of you being very stealthy with the torch, because the fish won't see you. Even if you're on top of the cave, they won't see you. But you gotta be stealthy. So the way that we usually do it is go in slowly with the torch, and we never actually want to shine the torch on the fish. Because if the fish shines the torch on the fish, you will lose the fish. Even here, if you shine the torch even on the fish's tail, you will lose that fish. You will know that something is up. So always try to be sneaky, so pointing on the outskirts of the cave, and then with the reflection of the light, you see if there's any shapes which could lead to a fish. So of course, it comes harder when, like in Italy, you've got regulations of the fish sizes. So per se, like in Italy, the minimum of a grouper is 3 kgs. So, because of course, of the grouper in Italy, it's overfished, so the population has decreased a lot. So even for us spearos, it's 3 kgs, and for fishermen that actually do it as a job, it's actually 4. So it's bigger for them, because of course they catch more quantities. So when it's like between a fish that is 2.5 kgs and 3 kgs, you don't shoot it, because you want to be on the safe side. Of course, we shoot groupers which are usually tend to be 5 and above, Because you notice when a grouper is 5, it gets fat. When it's a 3 kgs, we're not sure, we just leave it. We're just, you know, it's worth saving that fish's life rather than killing it, you know? I much prefer having that fish grow up into a 6-7 kg grouper one day and seeing it again in the water than shooting it when it's a 2 kgs or 3 kgs, you know what I mean? It's recording, by the way.
Yeah, I know. So many nice people, I'm not going to say about beautiful ladies. And funny enough, he is not that much distracted because this is his main hobby, I think, yes, spearfishing. So, now the question is, not about ladies, but about what are the other hobbies that you have, man? Like, when do you have time for anything else? But tell us more.
Make sure to record this time, huh?
So we just had a very funny coincidence. I'm interviewing the famous guy, and apparently somebody's passing by and like saying, "Hey Andrew, is that you?" Yeah, these are some of my Polish actually friends. Somebody who's supposed to be my patient probably, but this is a different story. So we're talking about this, that so many people are passing by, and especially beautiful ladies, young ladies. Oh, I'm almost stopping myself from turning the head. But you're so actually focused on the topic, which I'm very happy and proud. You are just doing very well. But aside from different stuff, like what are your hobbies? Like aside from the spearfishing as a hobby and a sport and probably main love. So tell us more about what would you do if you wouldn't do spearfishing. This is one. And second thing, what else do you do aside from this?
Well, I mean, apart from spearfishing, as you well said, freediving, but you know, it pretty much goes correlating with spearfishing. But apart from those hobbies, which you know are spearfishing side of thing, I mean, I do a lot of running. I do a lot of running, cycling, and enduro. I love, my second love is bikes. I love motorbikes.
The motorbike.
Yeah, I'm in love with motorbikes. And in Italy, I love doing enduro, so going dirt biking, mountains and things. I love being in the nature, out in the nature. That's another sport that I do, but also I don't only do with the enduro, but I also do like a mountain bike. I go mountain biking a lot. I love it. I just love being out in the nature. I hate being stuck at home. So during quarantine, those 2 months, it was, let's not even go there, but it was a pain. But yeah, no, apart from spearfishing, dirt biking, I also do hunting. I hunt in Italy, but not big game, mainly small game, so like rabbit and some, you know, sort of countryside birds. And yeah, so pretty much that's what I like doing. So yeah, those are my hobbies. So yeah, spearfishing, freediving, bikes. I love bikes, motorbikes. Yeah, enduro, dirt biking, mountain biking, and hunting. Those are my hobbies.
Wow, that's big. That's big. So, and how about the training itself, like a physical training for spearing? Obviously, doing the practice and the functional training of spearing itself. But aside from that, do you have time, or do you have anything like, if you don't have much of time, you will definitely focus on this for yourself?
Well, I mean, like training for spearfishing is not actually that much complicated. I have many books. Also, one of my really close friends, Umberto Pellizzari, the famous Italian freediver. I mean, he sent me a lot of books and a lot of his work, and also we call sometimes and we talk about how, you know, I ask him questions and he helps me like some, you know, close training. But I mean, apart from that, training for freediving is honestly just doing the activity, and also spearfishing is just doing the activity. I mean, like, if you want to, let's say, if you know, like your legs, you're not relaxing your legs enough, just do, you know, squats. I always do it. Just do squats with holding your breath. Your muscles will adapt to the lack of oxygen or a limited amount of oxygen, and they will start, you know, by themselves to relax. I mean, that's what I usually do. But of course, freediving and spearfishing in general is a mix of 3 things: physical, spiritual, and relaxation. So if you are missing one of these 3 things, you won't be able to, you know, fully be able to give your 100% potential. So what I do is I do a lot of yoga, pranayama. It's a type of breathing exercises which helps me relax a lot. Of course, physical training, going to the gym, but you know, I don't do that much weights, because weights and, you know, building up muscle mass is actually counterproductive with spearfishing, because, you know, the bigger the muscle, the more oxygen it actually needs. I mean, that's my personal view on it. And so I do a lot of running, cycling, and some disapnea, which is pretty much emptying your lungs from air, and, you know, doing exercises, and also statics by, you know, breath holds, swimming, doing laps in the water. That's pretty much what I do. And of course, relaxation is just literally like chilling in bed, listening to music, focusing on your breathing, and just checking your heart rate and seeing how low you can drop it. okay guys, I need to do an interview with you, all of you, and ask you some questions. And it was 3 in the morning. We just came back from a party that we were like, because COVID was not existent then, so we were like, we can't. I mean, we probably won't answer the question fully. And he's like, we have to. It's a must. I'm like, okay, cool, then let's go. So we had to sober up really quickly, which was, yeah, but no, it worked. I guess we had an interview, like a long 30-minute interview, which was hectic, trying to keep everything like, you know, focused. But yeah, I was like talking, I'm like to Dario, like my other friend. He's like, so listen, the slower you talk, the more it sounds weird. So just speak fast. It's like, okay, cool.
That was also the international call, maybe, huh?
God, that was funny. Yeah, Lampedusa, it was fun. Honestly, like on YouTube and even Instagram, you know how many DMs we get like asking questions, like really personal questions too, like, oh, so what, like, your dietary, or like, do you suffer from maybe like diseases? I'm like, I mean, like, I answer them like fully, but like sometimes people have like, they just think for some weird reason that freediving is a magic pill. Like some, like, you eat this, you drink this, and you're magically like holding your breath for like 8 minutes. Nah, man, you gotta practice. I've seen way more things than that.
We have a first fun actually.
Yeah.
What's that? The wasp?
It's, I think it's a wasp. Let me see. Yeah, it's a wasp. It's alright.
And then some
Hello,
Arabic guys.
guys.
Hi guys.
Andrew?
Yeah, Andrew is here.
Hello, sir. I'm Mary.
Okay, you look great. You have beautiful glasses and a mask. And I'm sure we met before.
Okay, yeah, I mean, we were talking about something on Instagram. I was talking.
This is a lady who asked me questions on Instagram, and this is actually the famous Instagrammer as well.
Oh, really?
Wow.
He's into spearfishing, a big guy.
Hi guys.
Nice to meet you, man. Alright, we don't want to disturb
Yeah.
you.
Oh, it's fine. It was nice.
It's really a pleasure because it's a very huge coincidence for us.
Yes.
We were both talking and then suddenly you are here and wow.
You're my first time.
Alright guys. Have
Bye
a
guys.
good one.
Have a nice day, guys. Enjoy.
Cześć.
Look at us feeling famous.
You see, you're famous with this, I'm famous with physio, which is a completely different story.
How is physio, man?
Physio is
Oh, my
good.
back has been killing me
Whoa,
lately.
that depends what do you need.
I've been sitting down like writing essays for school, man. I'm just like, ah. So I need to like probably fix, like, I don't know what happened. It's probably my muscles. Like, I either pulled or, you know, have like some knots in it.
I think for your part, most probably is maybe to see the physio, but probably just to perform the functional training for strengthening. Maybe some parts, you know, of the weight training, with not the full range of motion though, but something actually purely for strengthening. And then core muscles as well, but they are activated more or less.
Yeah,
like
of course,
that,
yeah.
All right, so